Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Argo Contributor Office Hours. I will be your host today. So yeah, let's get started. First order of business should be to do the GitHub discussions moderators. So Ishita and Alex, do you guys want to talk about last week at all, or should we just move on to deciding next week's?
I had one observation.
Uh-huh.
So this time I had to answer a few questions that were in documentation. It was just, I guess, user couldn't find it. So I feel like if we improve documentation, it will reduce the amount of support work. But nothing else. Like I did not see anything like no alarming bug reports or something.
Right, same here. It was regarding like give more examples or something like that. Nothing other than that. So there was one user just asking for a real-time problem for sync windows. I didn't know exactly where I could direct him for that because
Actually, I also didn't reply to the.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Which
A
which
typical good example would be creating CRDs and then CRs. I think. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask Alex, which portion of the docs did you find yourself linking to?
I think there was syncing, the question about syncing, and then so why I start thinking about documentation is because right now we have, I think, 3 different docs that describes syncing, and it took me some time to find, all these docs and send it to a user. He was just asking about sync customization, and then we didn't have all the docs about syncing in one place. It was kind of, so yeah, that was pretty clear. It's not the best.
Alex, was it 8195? Because I can't see any comment.
Oh no,
there.
that question that actually this particular one, it was in support Slack. The user was just asking about sync customizations, and yeah, and we have resource hooks and sync options and sync strategies, and so I didn't know what he was asking about, so I had to give him all 3, and then.
Got it. Actually, in discussion, there was one of this. I've added the link in the chat. It's regarding does anyone has sync window examples other than provided in documentation. So that only they just wanted more real-time problems or something like that.
Okay, yeah, this one I saw, and I kind of I felt like what we have in documentation is a real. That's the only real life example I ever used sync windows for, and that's why I could not answer.
I couldn't find anything which would help.
To be honest, I think we have like a real life example in the docs. Basically, that's how people use sync windows. So yeah.
I remember at some point there was a proposal, I think from Jan, to sort of restructure the documentation with this. Do you think this would help with things like this? Or yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, unfortunately, the effort is like in a deep sleep right now. It's just so much work, right?
I worked with sync windows a while back, and I think I implemented some tests with different scenarios. I'll try to find that, and if I do, I'll reply in this ticket, referring the user to the tests, if that makes sense.
I think it is. If you put some photo already, maybe you can come up with a good example.
All right, so we should probably decide who will be moderators for next week. So do we have any volunteers to start? All right, so if we just go next on the list, it looks like we have Dan would be next and Jesse would be next. I think we should probably only pick one of them as primary because I think you guys could both be primary, but maybe give someone else a chance to be secondary. So Jesse or Dan, do you want to volunteer for primary?
Yeah, I can do it.
Cool. Thanks, Dan. All right. And then any volunteers for secondary, or it looks like either Chaitan or May would be next for secondary. Chaitan or May, are you here on the call?
I can include my name. Everything.
Okay, great. Sorry, who is? Oh, Chaitan, you were speaking. Okay, great. Thank you. Sounds good. All right, so Dan, you'll be primary, and Chaitan, you'll be secondary. All right. Okay, we can move on to the next topic. Unless anybody else has things they'd like to discuss regarding moderation. All right. So Alex, it looks like you put the 2.3 blocking issues. Do you want to talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, it will be short update. So we kind of had a discussion in Slack with Jan, Jesse, and all approvers. So it kind of 2.3 is much smaller right now. So it had a lot of issues here, and most of those issues, those are either bugs or feature requests that a long time ago got into milestone. Then we let it slip, and we were just moving, carrying forward those issues. And that's why we had so many things to work on in that milestone, but no one was actually going to work on those tickets. And so we just agreed to unassign them from milestone, from any milestone, and only move like critical regressions to 2.4. So I did that, and basically right now we have very few items here. Few of them, okay, and maybe I can walk you through them. Oops, application dependency is definitely not supposed to be here unless JC added it back. But it's a big feature, I think, that's supposed to be moved forward to 2.4. So basically, ignore the first one. Adding application set to Argo CD stack. I feel like it's almost done. Ishit and Jonathan driving it. And the next ticket, it's a very small win, and I was hoping to implement it. Basically, right now, so this is right now, a radius is on a critical path. We use it to log in, and we should have get rid of it for a long time. And I basically discovered the ticket when I was grooming a list of 2.3 issues. Okay, merge application set into Argo CD installation. It's same as the first one, adding application set. And then namespace resources owned by cluster scoped resources not visible in UI. I know Chetan is working on that issue. I tried to review it yesterday. And then I think I added some proposal, but basically in that meeting, I wanted to propose to move it to 2.4 as well. The reason is it's a dangerous change, which will affect performance for sure, but we can discuss it. And maybe if you don't mind, Remington, can you please open this issue? And it has a pull request attached to it.
The namespace resources one, right?
Right, yes. And then if you scroll all the way down, you will see, pull request. This is, sorry, not this one. There are two of them, and let me Slack you the right one. Not Slack.
There's a link for the PR, the GitOps engine.
Is it the GitOps engine one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, the change is kind of, it's not extremely big. Yeah, if you click on file changes, so we have kind of a simple function here, and the goal of that function is to take a parent and then look through all other resources and look for children. And so what we had here before, we were only looking at resources in the same namespace, but cluster objects has no namespace. That's why the logic wasn't working. And then the simple solution is to start looking everywhere. But imagine if you have a cluster with like a few thousand hundreds of objects, so it will be slow for sure. And the only other option is to add more indexes. At least that's, and it doesn't look too complex, but I have no idea if it's going to work. Basically, the only way to see if it improves or makes performance worse is to implement it and try it. And it seems like it doesn't really fit into 2.3.
Would it be an option to have this maybe be a feature that's disabled by default that a user could turn on in Argo CM, or?
It will be really difficult to have, feature flag for that, because
I see.
well, like the proposal here is to kind of introduce an index, and that index have to be maintained. We would have to lots of if else's, at least 3 if else. So 1 if here, and then 2 in 2 other places where we're supposed to maintain that index.
Alex, if we add more indexes, as you have mentioned in the comment, will it still affect the performance? Because I understand the current implementation, the PR,
indexes should help, but we will spend a little bit more time kind of maintain, putting data into index. So every time when something changes, we will supposed to update index and update the parent. But that the method that I was showing before, iterate children, it will be much quicker. And the hope is that it will actually help to improve performance, because right now iterate hierarchy, it's main CPU consumer in Argo CD. I didn't attach profile link, but we have a link, and profiler, and that's, I think, the second top consumer of CPU. Yeah, but it's just, I feel like it's a little bit of code changes, but to test it. Okay, so I feel like it's not a blocker, and another option is we can kind of try to get it into 2.4, but we should be ready to revert. Yeah, that's another option too. So we can.
I think it's also not a block. It's not a blocker for the release, right? It's like is a new feature. I don't know how high it was in demand.
It affects few users. I think it's very important to users who are affected, and everyone else don't care, because it's not a frequent scenario.
Yeah, but did it have like a lot of thumbs for?
Or
not that many.
Well, I personally think that this is a great to have feature, right? Because I mean that's what people are looking for in the UI, like for the visibility, and but yes, I also agree that if you have concerns about the performance, we may want to postpone that and conduct some tests before we release it into the wild.
Okay.
What I can do is I'll try to address your comments, Alex, as soon as possible, and we can understand more and do some more testing. And only if we are confident enough, we can include it in this release, or we can postpone it to the 2.4.
Okay.
Since it's not a blocker.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to, I saw that you actively work on it, so I didn't want to just remove it from Milestone, but okay. So now we know.
Yeah, no issues. Thank you.
All right. So, and then I want to skip one issue, and basically endpoint diffs confused by port sorting bug. It was here, but we could not reproduce it ever. Like, and I think I reproduced it yesterday, so I kept it here. I understand lots of such bugs because they've been open for like a year. And this is one of those bugs. It's a bug that was open for a long time, but I kept it because I know how to fix it. The fix is pretty small. It's in GitOps engine. Not this one. That was previous attempt. So yeah. And basically I have questions about two other remaining issues in 2.3 milestone, because I didn't add those, and I don't know if anyone knows, if anyone actively work on those. So one is unable to connect private repository, and then reconciliation loop one. And I know that Jan was working on reconciliation loop. Jan, you added some logging. Do you know, like, are you planning to do anything else for the ticket?
No, I have just sent this PR for logging which resource actually is triggering the reconciliation.
Okay.
So
So that will help users to maybe configure ignore resources, or maybe do something with noisy controllers, but the issue should be still open, right?
yeah, I think so the reconciliation loop, I mean there are different, so that I'm not sure if we can fix it, because we start a reconciliation if a managed resource is changed, right? So we have a watch on that resource, and if someone changes that resource, then we trigger reconciliation. Maybe path going forward would like be to have some kind of throttling per resource. I don't know if resource changes 1,000 times per minute, then maybe we want to catch that. But yeah, I don't know. So I was not planning to work on that for 2.3 at least. So
yes, I think that that was my most important question. So basically, it sounds like we should unassign it, right? Unassign it from the current milestone, and then we plan to triage bugs again. So we will most likely assign it to 2.4. Okay.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is for the users to find out why the reconciliation is triggered, right? So because that will help them figuring out what's happening.
All right. And I have the same question about the other one, unable to connect private repo. I know it's like, it could be even support request, but I think my question is, anyone actively working on it right now and trying to fix it? And then if not, then we can.
Yeah, I think Pasha has assigned himself.
Yeah, it looks like Pasha's assigned, but he hasn't commented since December. Are you here, Pasha? Okay.
Yeah, yes. Sorry, I just missed. What is this item?
I think we're just trying to understand, should we keep it in 2.3 and fix, or move it to 2.4, or just unassign? Actually, I tried to guess what the ticket about by title, but when I open it, now I feel like I want to fix it. It may be a simple UI fix.
I think maybe I didn't reproduce it, something like this. What is the ticket number? I will check it right now. Okay. So I'm so.
Yeah, but now I feel like I didn't open it. We have a lot of those, cannot connect repository issues, and I just assumed it's yet another issue with the private key. But now I see what it is about. And
I don't think that is
not a blocker, because I think it's been there
Yeah.
forever. Like people, the UI is not most popular way to add repo, because you have to copy paste credentials, and looks like we have a
I understand what is this item. I spent few days for reproduce it, and it's actually not reproducible at all. And by code, I didn't solve that it can't happen. So it's kind of error that communication is broken between client side and server side. If it's true, it would be some white error for
Yeah.
everyone. So
Yeah.
I think it's something specific, and I asked him few questions, and you can see it in ticket, and he was not able to provide me clear information. Like I asked his browser payload network, and he didn't provide me it. So it was, yeah. So I don't think it's blocker, and it's some kind of regression, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree with that, because if it would be like that, nobody could use the UI to connect a repository using SSH, then I guess I share the point of view of Pasha that probably many more users would have come up with
yes,
that.
I tried to reproduce it really in few days in different versions, and it's not reproducible. This issue that means that insecure flag from UI passes not Boolean, some empty string or something like, or something else, and Golang server cannot convert it to Boolean and throw such error. But again, I didn't reproduce it.
all right, so I feel like it's basically safe to just unassign it and then call it not reproducible. Awesome. Then we don't really have many items in 2.3. It's actually close to be done.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex.
And then, yeah, and I have one more quick item. I think it's kind of, I already unassigned server side apply from 2.3, and I just wanted to, clarify that I did it right. I know that Leo was trying to, drive that forward, move it forward, and Jan had concerns that it's not that easy as it looks like. And then, so basically, I want to make sure everyone agrees that it should not go into 2.4, and we move it to should not go to 2.3, should be postponed.
Yeah, just for some more context, that I mean, that's a feature that's wanted by many, right? And I think that's also something we from Red Hat look for as some significant change, and we should get it right. So maybe not rush it into 2.3 and then see that we need breaking changes going forward. So I was suggesting to put some more thought in the design on how to enable that from Argo CD. So
yeah, I agree. Basically, I was tempting to add it to 2.3 because we've got pull requests, and it felt like a like an easy win. But you're right, we might regret that we just got it in this build.
And it's very awesome that someone sent a PR for that, right? So and I guess the submitter he contributed to Argo CD before, and I think this contributor is very smart. So like he worked with us to get the other PRs right, and I think he will work with us on this one as well. So
cool. All right, so I think it was the right decision, yeah, to just move it to 2.4. Then more chances for us to finally release 2.3 on time. We always delay. Okay,
Cool.
that's all I had. Thank you.
That's good. Thanks, Alex. Jan, it looks like you have an agenda item for GitHub Actions approval changes.
Yeah, just something that I wanted to bring up for discussion is that I think GitHub has changed the default for executing the GitHub Actions workflows, right? Especially so I think there was a spam wave a couple of months ago where people abused GitHub Actions in popular repos to mine some crypto coins or something like that. And then GitHub Actions introduced this feature that you need to approve the run for the workflows, right? And made it, I think they made it the default. So every new contributor needs approval from someone with commit permissions to the repository. And there are 3 settings for this. And I think we're using the default. I don't know if it's an Argo Proj deliberate choice or if it just was like taking the defaults from GitHub. And there is another option that says require approval for new GitHub members. And I'm not sure if we should change to that, because what I have observed is that many people sending PRs and you know, someone has to come around and push the approve and run button before people actually can see whether CI passes and things like that. And I guess we are very bad at approving those workflows, considering that there are quite a few that still require approval. And even if we approve it and the CI fails and the contributor pushes a new change, then we need to approve again and again and again and again. So to make all of our lives easier, maybe we should change this setting to a more lax strategy. So that's just what I wanted to bring up to the table for discussion.
Yeah, I didn't know that setting exists. I just discovered it after you told.
I'm in favor of that. I didn't know it existed either.
Yeah. I feel like we had this type of pull request once, like long time ago, and never got the the PR that tries to mine cryptocurrency again. So maybe it's safe to switch to that less annoying option.
Cool. So it sounds like we all agree we can switch to that. Any other thoughts on that topic?
I was just thinking about consequences. Most likely, if some user send this type of pull request, he will be blocked, because we will report him and then he will be blocked. So it looks like a good protection. So basically, the only option for hackers is to keep creating contributors, and then keep creating new GitHub accounts, and we will have protection from new GitHub account. So it looks like it's a good enough protection.
Cool.
Yeah, we can always change back if there is a spam wave, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks, Jan. All right. So Leo, it looks like you have the last topic regarding SNCC.
Yeah, this is more informational topic. I think it's going to be very quick as well. Just to inform everybody that I worked this week with Alex and Hari. We enabled SNCC as a PR check in the Argo CD repo. So this can be configured in different ways. The way it is configured now, it would check the Docker container, but not for everything in there. So for example, it will mainly check for additions added in in the PR itself. It doesn't check it all the way from the past. So the validations that we get in the PR is just the validations added by the committer. We can change that if we want, but I guess this is less intrusive. Yeah, and but anyways, whatever is making more sense, we can change.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Leo.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody have questions or thoughts on that? All right, it looks like that's the end of our agenda for today. Does anybody have any last minute topics that they want to add, or?
I had a super quick informational agenda topic. So we merged yesterday a pull request that upgrades GitHub client to, sorry, not GitHub, Kubernetes client to most recent version. And we also had to upgrade Golang to 1.17. And the reason is Kubernetes client actually uses some 1.7 Golang feature and it won't compile on 1.6. So just be aware, you will have to upgrade Golang on your laptop as well. That's it. Yeah, just a quick heads up.
Great. Cool. Thanks, Alex. All right. Any other topics? Okay. Well, if not, then I guess we can get 10 minutes for our day back, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone.
I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Henrik here.
Yeah.
So Jan, I know that you've been fixing a lot of the issues that have come up from the fuzzers. Are you looking into the SNCC, all the SNCC stuff as well? I know you fixed a couple of things in the SNCC report.
Henrik, I think Jan dropped off.
Oh, did Jan drop off? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that maybe there's a question for everyone else, and if anyone else is looking into the SNCC stuff, I can follow up with Jan offline too. I know that he fixed some of the SNCC reported issues. Silence. Okay, I'll follow up with Jan offline.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.